Hi folks, Rick Wedell here. I'm the Chief Investment Officer at RFG Advisory in Birmingham. We're actually recording this on Monday, November 2nd, just before the election. So we thought we'd send out a brief video today, which is, by the time you're getting this, probably November 3rd. We thought we'd shoot out a quick election update, if you will. The market closed on Monday right at 3310 for the S&P 500 as a level. Obviously, we had a little bit of a sell-off last week, down a little over 5% for the week. We got a little bit of that back on Monday to right around that 3,300 level that we've been holding kind of near to since the sort of middle of last week. I'm not a betting man, but if I had to bet, I'm going to guess that we will probably not know the election's result by Tuesday night. And, you know, that's something that I think the market is reasonably well prepared for. I think that there are a lot of spectators that, given the number of people that have mailed in ballots, given the timing of the counting of those, given the potential for some states to matter significantly as swing, I think that there's some reasonable expectation that we may not know who the winner is on Tuesday night. We may not even know it on Wednesday, and depending on the legal process, that might drag on weeks and months. The historical data on contested elections really only goes back to hanging chads back in the day. And that was not a great outcome. If you just look at it statistically, it's not a great outcome for markets to have a contested election, but that was an unexpected contested election. Nobody really expected to see people, counting to see whether or not a push button had been pushed all the way through the paper or not. And the market, as you all well know by this point, hates uncertainty. If you look back at the history of markets and elections, there are a couple of interesting results. Bank of America actually put out a study on this over the weekend. Historically, markets have done better under Democratic leadership than they have under Republican leadership. So for whatever that's worth, that's a straight statistical anomaly. Historically, markets do better in presidential first terms than they do in presidential second terms. So that's another thing to think about in terms of how the overall market performs. The most interesting part of that study, though, is that there's actually very little statistical significance to any of the data around what party is elected, whether it's first term, second term. It's a very limited data set, and the standard deviation of the data is actually quite high. So it's true that on average, Democrats do better the market does better during Democratic terms than Republican terms. However, if you look at the statistical significance of that and whether or not the party of the presidency actually matters with respect to market returns or has any real predictive power, you'd find that the answer is actually no, that there's not really a whole lot of predictive power, at least statistically, in that particular bit of information. If for those of you who know me, you know I'm a numbers guy, so that is something that I find personally fascinating. In any event, just be prepared for a little bit of market turbulence as we sort out the results from Tuesday. And as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to either myself or to your advisor. Go vote if you haven't already, and we look forward to talking to you again soon.